Welcome Transformers fans, my name is Composite EnerJoe and today we bring you my review of the Transformers Prime Beast Hunters Deluxe Class Ratchet. And here he is in his vehicle mode, which from what I can gather, this is just a very Beast Hunter-y themed, extra spiky modified emergency vehicle like an ambulance. I tried looking it up even on the original figure that this is based on and I just couldn't find like what it is. It's just an emergency vehicle, which and I get to say this again, this mold is a very extensive retool / redeco, repaint, whatever, of the Transformers Prime Robots in Disguise Deluxe Class Ratchet, which looks just like this. Yeah, I happen to have the figure that this came from. I have the original version of this figure. So here is the Prime RiD Ratchet in his vehicle mode, which is just an emergency vehicle. That's it. Just a regular ambulance. And then you have the Beast Hunters version, the Beast Hunters redeco of the mold. And here it is. And as you can tell, they pretty much are the same vehicle. They both also have the same exact transformation, which I'll go into detail in a little bit. But one thing I will say that I do like that this one has the little heart monitor thing here, which I do not remember what that is called, and this one doesn't. Although this one is much more show accurate than this one, but yeah, they're both pretty solid. They both roll well without any problems. Nice wheels, nice everything. And that's about it. I don't have his weapons because this figure is supposed to come with two little blades which you can put out here on the top of his vehicle mode. And you can also tell one difference here is that this has pegs on the side. This one doesn't. And then here we have the accessories of the Beast Hunters Ratchet, which is this weapon, which is called the Dragon Shredder Drill, in which you just press this switch. It causes the green drill to spin. Pretty neat. And then you can put this on any of the ports here, like so, from there, top, bottom, everything. And because it's a 5mm port, it will also peg over here on the original Ratchet if you want to. And then I'll explain, and this thing has another feature, but I'll explain it in his when I transform him. So yeah, let me put this Ratchet off to the side for a second, and let's get to him because the review is mainly about him. It's just since I happen to have this version, and since these are basically the same figure, just the biggest difference is their appearance. And I figured it'd be the best time to mention this guy, so I'll put him off to the side, and let's get on to a transformation. So first step would be to come in here. What was it? Oh yeah. What was it? Oh yeah, there we go. It's supposed to come in here. And like take this part out, flip out the hand, and fold this part around so that it pegs into here. There's going to be one arm, so then down here you just move this a bit, take this out, fold out, fold out, fold around, and peg there. And then for here, since you have this part free, you're supposed to unpeg this, sort of take this from under there, just to there, and then you have to bring this. You have to do a lot of finagling with it because you have to like move it around, but you're supposed to move this entire piece down here, and same thing with this side. Take it there, you have to like adjust it, and then bring it around like that. Then you separate this, break that. Then for this piece, you rotate this entire thing down, pull out the foot, the heel, and then this. There's a peg here, which goes into here, I believe. There. Peg that in there, and that's one foot. Down here. The transformation is not too complicated, but it might get you the first couple times. It might take you like a couple of times because it's a lot of finagling to work with. Bring out the arms, and then when you and then here's like the one gimmick here. It has like a head reveal. When you take this and pull it down, head pops up. There you go. And here we have Beast Hunter's Prime. Beast Hunter's Prime Ratchet in his robot mode. Check out the head sculpt, which is a pretty cool head sculpt. But however, it just vaguely resembles Ratchet. And if you give me a second, let me just quickly transform him. And like I said, it's the same exact transformation. I had gotten this guy first, then this Ratchet I found later on. And I didn't even need instructions or anything. It's the same exact transformation. Which really surprised me. That how little they actually changed of it. But I guess that's what happens when you have redecos and whatnot. Whoops, that's not supposed to happen. Well, I will say that this connection here on the feet is a lot tighter on the original figure, at least on my copy. They loosened it a little bit over here. I guess one other thing you can do, you just bring the feet down first. Then do this entire annoying thing, which I'm not a big fan of. Like how this folds down, I'm not a huge fan of it. It feels like it's harder than it should be. Same thing, peg it there. Heel. So yeah, be aware on the original figure, the connection here is really tight, so just be careful. If not, you'll either accidentally break it or do what I did, just pop off limbs. So let's see that we have it, and same head reveal. Boom. The difference being is that this figure is way more show accurate. And I didn't mention it on this one, but this one has like a clear, can't really show it, has a clear light piping in one eye. Pretty cool. And this one has the blue light piping on both eyes. As you can tell, they look strikingly different, but like I said, mechanically they're the same exact figure. They really are. The only difference is their appearances. I'll say right now, they're both pretty good figures. I'll show off his articulation. I'll put him off to the side. He's got, let's see, not really a ball. Well, he does have a ball joint on his head, but because of the spring, you have to be careful because if you push it down, it'll stay stuck. To unload it, you have to back up and do the thing. But it is on a ball joint, but the spring and this collar does restrict them. Same as this figure. Ball joints here. You got an elbow. He's got a double elbow. He's got a what is it? Rotation here at the shoulder. Which also bends, so you have a bend there and another bend here. So he has an elbow and a hinge here by the shoulder. Let's see, the legs are also on ball joints. There's rotation by the thigh. Really nice kick. And has a knee bend and has an okay knee. Really nice kick, okay knee, and does have a waist. And if you really want to, you can sort of move this a bit for the feet. You have some little bit of posability in the feet. And the wrists can move a little bit up and down. Oh, plus you have this space here, so you can move his arms back and forward. But they're supposed to be forward like this. But like I said, you can do that if you want. And then this one has the same exact articulation. Same exact waist, knee, hand, foot, everything. It is essentially the same figure, but they just look completely different. So I will admit, when it comes to redecos, it's really good because it looks completely different from the original figure. Here's what I'll say. This figure, the Ratchet one, they're both nice solid figures. They have really good articulation. Like I said, they have articulation. They can do poses, no problem. They're quite posable. They're both quite posable. And we put him off to the side because the only thing I have to say is that this one is much more show accurate. That's it. This one isn't. This is just a version of what if Ratchet got upgraded into this beast hunting form. And that's about it. Although I do like that nice touch, and I never noticed this, where on the arms, these pieces are painted to kind of resemble his blades that he's supposed to have in this figure. This figure was supposed to come with two little blades that you like fold these down, fold the arms down, and you peg them into the hands. So you would have the two blades that he did on the show. Now they replaced that, like I said, with this drill weapon, But I do like the nice little detail, which I said I didn't notice until now, that they painted so it does resemble that he has his actual blade. So that is that's a nice little, neat little detail. And for this weapon, you just peg it onto here. And I said drill there, or you can actually pop it open. We can actually separate this, and you have a machine gun in there. There's a chain gun, which when you turn it, because of the way this thing is molded, where the actual barrels are of different heights, when you turn it, it looks like it's firing, which is pretty cool. It's really cool. However, the weapon, the way that this opens up, and the head sculpt are actually, I guess, like an homage to something, and I'll explain that now. Anything else? I said the figure itself is pretty solid. So is the original one. But if I were to say which one would I prefer, you can't go wrong with either of them. They're both really cool. This one, go with the original Ratchet. If you want a more show accurate Ratchet, then get this one. If not, I think I might like this one a little bit better, because of all of the extra detail. This one has a lot more detailing all around than this one does. Not to say this is a great figure, but so is this one, plus it has all the extra details. I like the weapon too, and I also like that they added the little detail of him having knives, like he's supposed to have. But the head sculpt, here's a sort of, I guess these are sort of Easter eggs or homages, that the head sculpt and the weapon, let's put this up like this, display it like that. Whoops. Like that. But this weapon, in the fact that it looks like this when you open it up, and the head sculpt, for any Beast Wars fans out there, does this look familiar? Yeah, the head sculpt looks really similar, like looks almost identical to the Dinobot 2 from Beast Wars. And this tail weapon, well, I already pointed out, the tail weapon, yeah. This weapon opened up like this resembles Dinobot 1, the original Dinobot's tail shield weapon, the spinning tail weapon that he had, where he stored his dino sword. So yeah, I like that. I like why they gave it to Ratchet specifically. I don't know why they gave him this homage or Easter egg or whatnot, but that's really neat. The weapon is based off of the original Dinobot's tail shield, and the head is Dinobot 2. I don't know why. I said I don't know why they gave him that little homage Easter eggs on this figure, but it's really neat. And that is a really cool little detail. And let me bring Ratchet in here, since it's probably the best time for me to bring him in. So overall, the Beast Hunters Ratchet, I think, is a little bit better than the original one. Like I said, just the original one is more show accurate. Is a more show accurate figure as opposed to this one. But I do like all the added detail, all of the extra details. I like the weapon, and I like the references to a Dinobot from Beast Wars. Although I guess one little nitpick is that, at least on my figure, the Beast Hunter, this Ratchet, it seems a little bit looser on the joints than this one. The original one has tighter joints, but that just might be my figures. That I just happen to have a really tight one here and a loose one here. Well, slightly loose one here. So yeah. Overall, fantastic. I think they're both fantastic figures. They're really good figures. You can't go wrong with either of them. Like I said, I personally would pick this one because of all of the extra details. But this one is just more show accurate. And there you go, that's both. I guess I guess some extra facts. Outside of the Easter eggs here, the other thing is that neither figure, well, outside of like their Japanese counterparts, these molds are exclusive to these characters. Like this mold is exclusive, as far as I know, is exclusive to Prime Ratchet, and this one to Beast Hunters Ratchet. So yeah, that once again, I don't know what was up with that line where they didn't really use up these molds too much. I'm kind of surprised. But yeah, these exact molds are exclusive to these characters. As far as I know, the only reprints that I know of are like the Japanese versions, and I haven't really mentioned this before, but in Japan the show is called, I think, Adventure or something. Like they have their own version of these figures that are like painted differently. Some more show accurate, some not so much. I don't know too much about that, but that's what they were referred to as. And that's it. other than that, these molds are exclusive to Ratchet, to a Prime Ratchet, both regular and Beast Hunters. And that's it. Yeah, overall, these are both really nice, solid figures. I guess another small thing is that I'm not a big fan of how these arms are formed, though, with these panels wrapping around. Kind of wish the connection was a little bit stronger, was a little tighter. And that's just a minor thing. And I guess the spring thing, it's a cool effect, but it does get kind of annoying when you're messing with it. As I said, it restricts the head movement a little bit. But, as I said, overall, they're solid figures. I recommend both of them. I personally like the Beast Hunters one a little bit more, but they're both great, solid figures. So yeah, great. A+ for both of them. They're both great. So yeah, this has been my review of mainly the review of the Transformers Prime Beast Hunters Ratchet, Deluxe Ratchet, and I guess a mini review of the Prime Robots in Disguise Ratchet. Figured it's appropriate to have the before and after. So yeah, that's about it. Prime RiD Ratchet, Prime Beast Hunters Ratchet, both Deluxes. This is Composite EnerJoe signing off. Peace out.